Gotta make sure we're good here with all this stuff. Same with load. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Week 2 NFL predictions. Been a wild week, so we're gonna get into it here. All right. We're gonna start with tomorrow's first games at the noon slate here. I think we should start New York Giants heading on to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Both teams 0-1, so it should be interesting to see who gets their first win tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the Giants at all. Giants suck.
No,
Um,
yep,
the Cowboys, I mean,
they didn't play
I
that
don't,
bad.
I don't know what to think about the Cowboys, man. I mean,
I'll take a couple
sure
games for
they're
sure to get going.
sure they're a decent team, but like, I feel like they kind of lost their a lot of momentum after kind of the second half to the Eagles last week.
Yep,
But I mean, honestly, though, it'll be a good game. I honestly don't really care about this game.
no, me neither.
It's kind of a mid game, honestly, but I will take the Cowboys, 28-14.
I also have the Cowboys pretty dominant fashion. I have them winning 27-10.
All right.
I just don't really like how the Giants' offensive line is looking, and I don't really like how Russell Wilson played last week at all either.
Mm,
All right, we're gonna move on to another game. Another noon game. Seattle Seahawks looks to bounce back off of their rough sell last week against the Niners. They head to Pittsburgh to take on the 1-0 Steelers, who looked pretty dang good last week. I really like the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Honestly, just their last game, they showed a lot of fight. They showed what offense looks like. Um, which we really haven't seen the Steelers do much on offense in the last couple of years. So seeing them score like 34 points was pretty impressive to me, especially against that good Jets defense. So I like the Steelers winning this one, and I really haven't been high on the Seahawks at all this offseason.
mm,
Um, I'm not high on Sam Darnold. So I have the Steelers winning this one 28-17.
mm. All right. We'll start off with a disagreement early here. I
Disagree?
got
Okay.
I got Seattle mainly because I just think that the Steelers' Week 1 performance their offense isn't going to be able to sustain what they did against the Jets. I don't think Aaron Rodgers throwing for 4 touchdowns. I mean, I just don't see it happening. And on the other hand, the Steelers' defense looks pretty bad against the
Yeah.
against the Jets, and the Jets aren't even a powerhouse of an offense whatsoever. And Justin Fields kind of cooked them. So
Sup, chat?
I expect Sam Darnold to kind of, in a sense, bounce back. I don't
Okay,
expect
that's
him to go for
interesting.
like 300 yards, but he'll throw 250, couple touchdowns.
That's interesting.
JSN, in my opinion, will give Ramsey kind of a tough time. Yeah, and Seattle's defense. I really love Seattle's defense too. I think they're, I mean, top 10 in football. I mean, they really got after Brock Purdy last week,
It's true they did.
and I just think that their defense will keep them in the game against the Steelers. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, prove me if I'm wrong, but you won't. You're probably not going to
Yes,
throw
sir.
4 touchdowns. So,
That's interesting. Yeah. We'll see what happens on that one. That honestly, for me, that could honestly go either ways.
yep.
All right, next game. The Rams look to do some offense actually this week as they head to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Titans actually had a pretty dang good game last week, even though they didn't win. Um, Cam Ward played pretty well last week. I'm not gonna lie, I really liked what he was doing. But their receivers can't play ball, and their defense held on as long as they could. But I have the Rams winning this one in a close one, though. In a close one, though, I have this one being 20-17. The Rams take this one on the road.
Okay. I'll pick the Rams. I'll pick 24-9. I don't think the Titans can score a touchdown, and I mean, that's honestly saying something because they don't
Yep.
have any wide receivers. I mean, Tony Pollard's your only somewhat good offensive weapon on the team, and Cam Ward, while Cam Ward's a decent quarterback, and he's kind of proved me wrong. Their offensive line's pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, it's a
So
rough line.
there's nothing good about the Titans offense right now. I mean, there's also nothing good and convincing to me that they can keep up with the Rams' high-powered offense. And I know the Rams struggled; they definitely struggled, but their offense, in my opinion, is just way
Yeah,
more talented than Titans.
definitely.
So Rams 24-9, Titans struggled to score a touchdown, and yeah, I mean I don't know what will change for Titans offense.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be a couple of years for sure. All right, next we have the Buffalo Bills. After their thrilling comeback, they head over to New York to take on the Jets. The Jets obviously had a pretty good game, even though they lost.
mm,
A lot of Jets fans have their heads held up high, but I do have the Bills taking this one. I have this one in a close one though. I have this 23-20. The Bills take this one on the road. Um, I'm really liking Justin Fields, man. I just like what he can do. But it's Josh Allen, so I think Josh Allen is just going to lead the Bills to a win. He's been in those clutch factors situations a lot more, and he's going to be able to handle the pressure a lot better.
okay.
We
I
did
mean
talk
I'm
about hold on. Chat's talking about Pittsburgh and Seattle. We talked about that about 2 minutes ago, so you can scroll back. We just talked
yep.
about that. We gave our full predictions on that one.
I don't know where to. I don't know. I could see this game going a million different
I
ways,
could see it
honestly.
as well.
Um, but I'll pick the Bills, mainly because Justin Fields usually starts seasons off. I mean, usually has a couple really convincing games, and he falls back down to earth. I mean, we saw it in Chicago. We saw it even in Pittsburgh a little bit. I mean, he's just very inconsistent quarterback. And I mean, I'm not saying that he won't have a consistent game. I just need to see it. I really do. So I get that the Bills defense is one of I mean, obviously they played the Ravens, but they're still one of the worst in football right now, the Bills defense. But I just think they'll put it together a little bit, man. I
Hmm.
don't think they're going to be elite by any means, but they'll be able to kind of limit the Jets' offense in some
Yeah,
capacity.
I agree.
Now, on the other hand, I don't think the Jets' defense, stopping the Bills' offense. I mean, so that's that. So I'll take the Bills 30-23 in a pretty close game.
Okay. All right, next one here. Uh, oh yeah, here we go. Two winless teams go at it. The New England Patriots, after a close loss last week, head over to Miami, take on who, honestly, after last week, could be deemed the worst team in the NFL. That Miami Dolphins team played pretty atrocious. So Patriots at Dolphins. This is honestly, I think this is really just the downfall of Tua, in my opinion. I think this is just where his time in Miami comes to an end. Um, I have the Patriots winning this one 23-10. The Dolphins offense just will not be able to do anything. Doesn't matter who they're going against. They just can't do anything.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, the Dolphins are a horrible team. I mean, defense, horrible. Their offense is pretty mediocre. Their only good players, Devon Achane and Tyreek Hill. I mean, it doesn't help that Tyreek Hill wants is yelling at his coach and wants to leave. So, in that sense, I'm picking the Patriots to win. I mean, I cannot trust the Dolphins. I think Mike
Yep,
McDaniel's going to get fired in a couple weeks.
I agree.
Um, the Dolphins are on pace to be historically one of the worst teams. I mean,
Yep.
I know that's saying a lot, but there's just nothing good about this team.
No, there's nothing good that's
Not a
going on.
single thing I can say that's
Nope.
positive about the Dolphins, literally. So yeah,
Yep.
Patriots win. I still don't think I don't think their offenses will put anything together really, but I'll pick the Patriots 21-10.
All right, this one will be an interesting one. Jacksonville. and Travis Hunter head over to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Now, both teams had some wins last week. The Bengals obviously struggled on offense. The Jaguars did fine, but they were playing the Panthers, so anybody can look fine against them. Um, I think this is going to be a tight game, a battle between Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. I do have the Bengals pulling this one out though, 27-24 at home.
Hmm. Um, all right. I'm picking the Jags because I'm still not convinced that the Bengals can start off the season hot. I know they beat the Browns, but that was one of the least convincing wins.
That is very true.
Um,
Probably
and
should
their
have
offense looked
lost.
really bad. Their offense looked really bad. Burrow could not get the ball chase. He got Higgins only like 35 yards or something like that. And on the other hand, Jacksonville low key kind of fried the Panthers. And I know it's
They
the
did.
Panthers, but I mean Trevor Lawrence kind of stat padded Brian Thomas and their tight end I can't think of. So I expect the Jags to stay hot, take the AFC South or keep the 2-0 pace and keep first in the AFC South, and I
Interesting.
expect them to beat the Bengals. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the week, honestly.
Okay.
So I'll pick 33-27.
Wow. High scoring. All right. Up next, this one's kind of the poverty game of the week. The San Francisco 49ers with no Brock Purdy or George Kittle head to New Orleans to take on the Saints. This is going to be such a terrible game. I feel bad for anyone who's actually going to watch this. Um, I have a surprise though, Jonah. I have the Saints taking this game 13
There
to
you go.
10. Um, I just don't think that Niners team is going to be able to do a dang thing with Mac Jones at quarterback, and having no George Kittle is not going to do anything either. I saw Juwan Jennings was kind of banged up as well, and Christian McCaffrey cannot carry an offense.
Okay. I know. I know it may sound crazy, but I'm actually gonna pick the Saints to win this game as well. Um, I just think that the Niners are kind of the 49ers, even though they beat Seattle, are kind of a disaster right now. It's the same story with them every single year. They get injured by the first couple weeks of the season, then they fall off and go down the toilet. So,
Yep.
and I don't like Mac Jones at all. He sucks. I mean, realistically, I don't. I think he should be a quarterback 3. I don't know why he's a quarterback 2. I'm backing up Brock Purdy. So, Spencer Rattler, have yourself a game, man.
Yep. Prove why prove why you should be in the
You will
NFL.
beat the Niners. So
Yep. I think they're
Saints
yeah, I think
win
they're
in
gonna
a
pull that one.
snooze fest of a game,
Yep.
17-13.
Yep. I agree. All right. Now Cleveland, who almost beat the Bengals last week, but did not head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who sold their lead in 5 minutes practically last week on Sunday Night Football. I expect the Browns made some comments um, about how it's not hard to tackle Derrick Henry. So I expect Derrick Henry to go for a couple, maybe 200 yards. Honestly, I expect him to go
Mm,
off. I expect this whole Ravens team to go off. Um, I have the Ravens winning decisively, 31-14.
mm. Yeah, the Browns team definitely surprised me. They
Yep.
did. They've proven that they're not a bottom 5 team in the league. They hung in with the Bengals till the dear end, and their defense is just legit, man. Holding the Bengals to 16 or 17 points has got to say
Yeah.
something. Now, on the other hand, their offense is just really bad. Don't have a single player that's honorable outside of Jerry Judy. So in that sense, I'm picking the Ravens, exact same score as you, 31-14. I just think that they don't have any sort of player to keep up with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson for points wise. So Ravens kicked crap out of them.
Yep. All right. This is my game this week, guys. Chicago and Ben Johnson headed to Detroit to take on my Lions.
Mm,
Ben Johnson's return to Detroit. Both teams had some pretty sucky losses last week. The Bears obviously sold their game, and the Lions obviously just got trounced by the Packers. But I do expect the Lions to bounce back this week. I think their defense is going to lock in, actually. But I have it being a close game, though. I have the Lions winning 24-20 at home. It's going to be a battle, but I think just Caleb Williams, man. I don't know what to think about him.
Hmm, man, I gotta think about this one because on one hand, the Bears really, really surprised me in the first half of
They
football. They
did.
looked like a really good team, but on the second half, they just kind of fell off. But I mean, but I mean, they've played the Lions really good the last
They
year.
have.
If it wasn't for Matt Nagy, they would have beat the Lions. I mean, would have beat the Lions if it wasn't for Matt Nagy's horrible play management on Thanksgiving. But I mean, it's the Bears, dude. They just always suck, no matter what. So I'll pick Detroit to win. I don't think it'll be a very convincing win. I'm not sold on the Lions at this moment. Sorry,
No, I'm not
sorry for
either.
you,
I'm not
Jack.
either.
But
I'm not either, bro.
um, I mean, if the Lions beat the Bear, if the Lions lose to the Bears, we have. I mean, there's got to be a raise of concern. Absolutely.
Yep.
But Lions win 23-12. I don't think the Bears get a touchdown, honestly.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. Couple more games here. Denver, after their sloppy performance last week, head to Indianapolis, to take on the Colts. I was being a close game again. I really don't like what Bo Nix was doing last week, and I didn't watch the game, but I saw Danny Dimes have the game of his life. Um, so with that, honestly, I do have the Broncos winning 17-14, just because their defense is so good. I think the defense will be able to put the offense in some good positions. Um, Bo Nix has got to start doing something because last week was embarrassing and he was playing the Titans. So we'll see what this week looks like for him.
Yeah, I think the Broncos will easily beat the Colts this week and kind of put a convincing win on the board. I just think that the Colts, I mean, even though they beat the Dolphins, I mean, credit to you where credit's due, but the Dolphins suck. I mean,
Yeah,
they don't have anybody that's mentionable on their defense, and I mean, putting up 33 points against the Dolphins is not that big of an accomplishment for me. And Daniel Jones is still not a good quarterback. I mean, I really don't care if he had the game of his life. He's not
yeah,
doing it again against Denver at all. So the Broncos win. They put up 30 on the Colts. 32-17 Broncos.
interesting. All right. This one's also kind of a poverty game. The Carolina Panthers head over to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Um, Neither team played very well last week. The Panthers obviously stunk it up against Jacksonville, but the Cardinals didn't really have a good game against the Saints either. So I have this game being a low scoring game, defensive battle. Offenses probably won't do very much, but I have the Cardinals winning this game 14-13.
You think the Cardinals are scoring 13 on the Panthers defense?
14. Yeah.
40. The Jags put up like 30 on their defense. I mean, I feel like the Cardinals and Jags kind of have a similar offense. I mean, but oh yeah. I think that I mean, I may just be a hater, but the Panthers are probably going to lose this game by 20 points. They're just really bad. They just suck. Bryce Young had one of the worst pick sixes I've ever seen in my life that got called back. We actually watched that
Yeah, that
live. That
that
was
was that
atrocious.
was pretty bad.
Um, and I think that he's going to struggle against this Cardinals defense. The Cardinals defense is actually one of the better defenses in football. Now they were one of the worst last year, but against the Saints, I mean, they looked pretty freaking good. And I know it's against the Saints, but like they have some legit dudes now. Like they have Will Johnson, they have Josh Sweat. So I expect the Cardinals to have no problem against the Panthers defense. And I expect Bryce Young to once again have a pathetic game, and that will only raise the questions for him moving forward about his future. So Cardinals win 27-10.
All
Actually
right.
30-10 because I said 20
30-10,
points.
30-10.
Yeah.
All right, this one might be the game of the week. It is actually Fox's game of America's game of the week. Philadelphia and the reigning champions head to Kansas City for Super Bowl rematch. Neither team looked fantastic in week one. The Chiefs defense let nope, Justin Herbert walk all over them.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you're letting Justin Herbert walk over you, just Justin Herbert, I don't know what you're going to do against the entire stacked offense of the Eagles. I do have it being close though, just because it's going to be a tight game. Um, I could see the Eagles blowing this game out of the water though. I wouldn't be surprised, but I do have the Eagles winning this game 24-21.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs here. Okay. My reason for that is because neither defense really looked good at all. The Eagles' defense, I mean, looked pretty bad against the Cowboys' defense. I know the Jalen Carter thing, whatever. Their defense still sucked. It's not the same. Now the Chiefs' defense, outside of a couple players, outside of Drew Tranquil, looked pretty bad too. But the thing is, though, is the Chiefs never start off 0-2. They never have started off 0-2 in a long time that I can remember, and it's at home. So I don't see the Chiefs losing going 0-2. I just can't see it ever until they do it. So the Chiefs win 27-21. Patrick Mahomes will put up a really good fourth quarter drive that'll lead them to victory towards the end of the game.
Gotcha. All right, that brings us to the game Jonah will be at tomorrow.
Hmm.
Atlanta Falcons head to Minneapolis to take on the Vikings. Um, Atlanta coming off a tough loss. Missed kick at the end there, which we watched live. Minnesota coming off of a good comeback win there with JJ McCarthy. Now, everybody's saying how good JJ McCarthy played. He played good for one quarter,
Yeah, yeah.
and he played against the Bears. So I'm taking that with a grain of salt. I'm not taking that serious at all. But you know who did play good the whole game though last week? Michael Penix did. So with that, I have the Falcons beating the Vikings 24
There
to
you go.
20. I think Michael Penix is legit, and I think McCarthy's going to play fine, but he's definitely not all that.
There you go. I like it. Um, Obviously, I'm going to pick the Falcons to win. Because I think that JJ McCarthy is very unproven. I believe that he's a handoff merchant, and I will say that.
Extreme.
Um, he just all he did at Michigan was hand off the ball to Donovan Edwards, and that led him to a national title. Congrats to him. But I mean, that showed against the Bears. I mean, he couldn't get the ball to Jefferson until the fourth quarter, and those first three quarters looked really rough for McCarthy. People were saying that to get him out. I mean, people were saying after the first half that he needs to be benched immediately. I mean, crazy how that changes after the Vikings win the game.
Exactly. But you
But
got to look at who they're playing again too, man. Like they're playing the Bears. Like
yeah,
nothing crazy.
exactly. But the main reason why I'm picking the Falcons is that they are at full strength for their offense. They have
Yep.
London. Um, they have Mooney, who's back, and they have literally every single offensive weapon at disposal. And so the Vikings on defense too don't have Andrew Van Ginkel, and they have a couple other
Nope.
guys that are hurt too.
Yep. Okuda's out as well.
So I think the Falcons won't have a problem putting up points against the Vikings defense. I just don't. So the Falcons win 30-27 in a close game. I think it won't be a Young Waku field goal, but the defense is going to hold.
Yep.
So
I agree. All right, that gives us two Monday night football games now. The Bucks had a close but good win against the Falcons last week. They're going to play the Texans, who struggled last week
mm,
against the Rams. Um, I just really like Baker Mayfield and what he's doing. Emeka Egbuka
mm.
play like a vet in his first career game. So with that, I have the Buccaneers winning 31-20 against Houston.
Okay. I'm not completely throwing the Texans under the bus just quite yet, but I mean they play a really good team. I mean the Buccaneers are one of the best teams in the NFC, and I don't care if they barely beat the Falcons. They have the most loaded offense in my
Yep.
opinion, but their defense is just not great. I mean, kind of showed last week they didn't have a single pass rusher that could get to the Falcons outside of old
Nope.
Hassan Reddick, really. So I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers in a very close game, 20-17. I just think that the Texans aren't gonna be able to do anything, whether if it's a Buccaneers defense or if it's against the Dolphins defense, until they get their offensive line
Yeah.
fixed and they get Tank Dell back. I mean, it's just a bad situation. And CJ Stroud, I mean, is just not in a good spot at all. Not in a good spot to succeed. And I know their defense is good, but like,
There's
what can
only
you
so
do?
much they can do.
What
Yeah,
can you do?
I agree.
So Buccaneers win 2017.
All right, that gives us our last game of the week. The Chargers take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams are 1-0. Um, both teams had pretty solid games, especially the Chargers. Um, Justin Herbert looked like a freaking MVP candidate week one. And I think that's going to show again. I have the
Mhm.
Chargers winning this one 28-20 on the road. Um, I just think that the Chargers team is just more skilled, honestly. I think that's really just it. It's going to be a close game. Geno Smith's obviously a great quarterback, but Justin Herbert's better. He's got that it factor, I think.
Yeah,
So yeah, just I have the Chargers winning a close game. I think they're going to start hot. The Raiders are just going to have to climb their way back, and it's going to be a little too late.
yeah. Man, I don't know. This is low key. This is low key. I know it's 9 o'clock, but and nobody's gonna watch this game. But this low key has potential to be a great game.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna pick the Raiders because
Okay.
I honestly think that Justin Herbert. I think he's gonna cool off a little bit. Honestly, I just really do. Um, even if it's against the Raiders defense, I just don't know. And I don't expect
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson to have about 100
Really
yards
good
again.
game.
That's never going to happen again. I mean, he's not a good wide receiver. I mean, I'll
We'll
eat it if
see.
I'm
We'll
wrong.
see. We'll see.
But on the other hand, for the Raiders, I expect Ashton Genty to be a lot more productive now that he had a full a week of reading NFL defenses against pretty good defense in the past, in my opinion. And I don't. I mean, I just think the Raiders are going to pull off an upset. They usually do against the Chargers. They usually split, in my opinion. They always kind of like go 1-1 every single
Yep.
year. And I just think that they'll take this one. They'll take this one against the
Okay.
Chargers in a boring game. Not a boring game. My bad. 27-20.
All right. So we different on four picks today, which is a little interesting. So we'll
Four.
see how only on four
Four of the
picks.
four Raiders,
Raiders,
Chargers,
Pittsburgh
Steel.
and Seattle, Cincinnati and Jacksonville, and Kansas City and Philadelphia.
All right.
All right, boys, that's all we got for this week. We're not going to be able to stream the game tomorrow because Jonah's at his game, but hopefully he'll send in some pictures so we can post that for you guys to see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. We're going to try to get some shorts out this week. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later. Peace out.